This video is for the trip just ended in New Hampshire, and we kind of wanted to give a little update. A couple changes have happened on the bikes. As you can see, my road glide's right there, his road glide's right here. Gangster glide, the grandpa glide. So I'm actually going to let him start this video with some changes you made before the trip.
Well, just a few small things. We're just going to say their actual name. It's the Big Ass Zero Cup Holder. It's a legit name, so
Yeah, no
try to censor it. It's legit a Big Ass Zero Cup
It's
Holder.
actually holding my coffee cup, which is really nice. And this is, by the way, this is a 30 ounce. This isn't a plug for Yeti, but it's a 30 ounce Yeti, and it fits right in. So that's a bonus if you're wondering. I'm not going to say I wouldn't get the small one. I actually have two on my bike, and they're both the big ass ones. They fit the 20 ounce tumbler from Yeti as well, but these ones fit a little bit better. And the nice thing is that if you don't know, Yeti cups hold ice really well, even when it's hot as hell out. So yeah. So you add the cup holder. You busted my balls up and down last season when my bike came here. Actually, no, they weren't on my bike yet. You waited until you came to my apartment and you saw my bike and you were like, what are you, 105? You need cup holders? You want air conditioning too? Well, no, you got a cup holder. So what made you go get a cup holder?
Well, obviously we were going to New Hampshire. No helmet laws. I would be able to sip something if we're cruising or going slow enough, and it wouldn't just splash all over me. So it just made it a whole lot easier than stopping, taking the cap off something, sipping it, and then putting the cap back on, putting it away. I could do that right in a cup holder. Put cruise control on, or like you have. I was mostly sipping an iced coffee, so it was basically that. Just obviously the plastic cup.
Did you have the large iced coffee on the highway? Did it move?
No.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So that's one thing actually I do want to touch on is hydration. Coffee isn't the best hydrator, so if you can get something, even if you have a small cup holder, you can just hold like, I think Poland Springs is a national brand, but like just like a Poland Spring bottle or something, just so you can sip on, you'd be surprised how much better that in itself makes the ride, because you can actually like quench your thirst. It's really great. So I see another little thing over there.
Well,
A broken bolt
yeah.
for one.
So I had bought this Zero chargeable phone mount. I was installing it right after I put the cup holder on, and for some reason it kept acting like the bolt was too long, which it was not, ended up. But I was just tightening them a little too different than I should have.
Fucking McGill Gorilla strength.
Yeah.
Good and tight.
Which, it might be just my bad, but it could also be the company just using cheap bolts. But I snapped the bolt off, so it's still stuck in there. Luckily, I got the bottom bolt back out and stuck the stock bolt back in there and just cranked it and didn't come loose the whole trip.
Which is good. So you're with a RAM mount. Now, I personally run the Zero. I think that's kind of the reason you got it. I do not have the charging one. That is a personal preference. It really comes down to.
I only got it because it was $10 more, I believe. So
yeah. The reason I personally didn't go with it is because certain cases it'll work with, certain cases it won't work with.
Which my phone case it did not work with. So either way, I wasn't gonna be.
I think if you have like, and I'm only using Harley models because I can use Honda models too. Like if you had like a Dyna, a Softail, a Sportster, Honda Shadow, Yamaha Bolt, cruiser style bike, or crotch, a sport bike, a Gixxer, a CBR, an R6, an R1, something like that. I think the charging mount might be a better application for. I know on Luke's Sportster he actually had a RAM mount, and then he wired in an iPhone cord so he could plug his phone in.
I believe you can just plug it into the back of the head unit.
You can on ours, but I'm saying like with a Sportster or something.
Yeah, true.
So those bikes don't have fairing, they don't have a way to charge your phone. That might be a lot more worth it. Might be something that you find yourself riding all day and your phone dying. I know back in the day, like when I had my Sportster, my Road King, or even the Dyna, I use a battery tender for not during the season, but usually the off season. What I actually used to do is I'd plug in, there was a connection you could plug in, and on the other end had a USB. I'd plug that in, and then either I had a little bag on the Sportster I would actually tuck it into. I never really did it on the Road King now that I think about it, because I had hard bags on that. The Dyna, I had a little side bag here. I had a side bag on the backrest that I had, so I could, and I actually had leather pro bags too, so I could dump my phone in there, run the cord, and I was all set. I could sit there and charge my phone. On the Dyna, I had a Plex audio system. I also had a Sena in my helmet, so I could listen to music either way. That way my phone wouldn't die. Especially, what's really nice is if you have that kind of setup, whether you have GPS, and I'm using this for the Sena model, or even if you had Plex audio, but mainly for like a Sena or something, you can actually keep your phone charging so you're not eating your battery your whole ride, trying to figure out where you're going. Or I always would use Pandora, Spotify, whatever, play that through the phone into the helmet, and it would still read me directions. So that's a little plug for that. On the touring bikes, like a Goldwing, Road Glide, Street Glide, Ultras, the Indian Challengers, Chieftain, I think is one of theirs.
Chieftain, yeah.
They got one that's like a stripped down Road King. Anyway, any of those bikes with a fairing, I'm sure have some type of charging system. It's become pretty standard nowadays. You can plug your stuff in. So you went with a ram mount.
Mm-hmm.
How did it work?
About what the old one did.
Not the greatest, not the worst.
Not the greatest, not the worst. It still lets your phone do a little shimmy, so you have to keep positioning it back up to look at it, like if you're using it for GPS or something. But
Yeah.
it did keep my phone in place for the most part.
Normally they have little pieces that go over. Does yours have?
It came with it, but it didn't work last time I had one, so
Okay.
I just tried. Didn't
So, previous bikes, I had ran a ram mount. Sportster, I might have. The Dyna, I definitely did, and then I went to the Zero. My biggest issue, and I just call it like I see it with the ram mount, is the rubber. I'm gonna call it a gasket. It stretches out, goes over the side, so your phone is locked in. Tends to rip after time, and nobody really wants that. This isn't a plug for Zero. There's Kiriakin makes one. I like it. I call it a vice style, where you actually can crank it in and hold. It'll pinch your phone. The only thing I will say with those is if you have a smaller cellular device. Most Harley dealers, if you take it up to the counter, they'll let you take it out. Or independent dealers, they should let you take it out. Make sure your phone fits and see where your buttons are. One problem I had is when I had an older iPhone where it was shorter, the side mounts would actually clamp onto some of my buttons.
Well, that's my issue because my power button and my volume button are right here. So
you have an
it
Android.
hits.
Yeah. So that's something to think about, consider, look into. You got to contact Zero about that still. Your seat, how'd that hold up?
It was pretty good. Obviously, like we said in the last video, we're probably still both breaking our seats in. So, but for the most part,
No
didn't
hip
have any
problems?
issues. Nope. My hip issue wasn't messing up the entire time. Obviously, got a little numb over the course of like 200-300 miles, but
That's typical.
that's typical, yeah. We got off, stretched a little bit, I was fine. But,
I think that's all you changed for this trip, huh?
pretty much. Phone mount and a cup holder.
Yeah. And you're gonna talk to Zero, see if you can get a new bolt, see if you can figure.
Oh, I also moved my tuner from the handlebar to the dash, so.
Oh, you did.
Mm-hmm.
I think that looks better, to be honest with you.
Well, that's what that mount thing is.
Yeah, I know. I told you that because I wanted to buy it off you. So he has the, I think it's called Iron Aces, Black Iron Aces, something like that. It's a mount that goes around the Speedo and tack bezel. It bolts on, clips on,
I
whatever
think
you
it
want.
goes into the existing bolts on the sides.
Yeah, and it has you can actually put your phone there too. They have a brand mount for that.
It had the mount for the phone
Oh,
before.
it
It was old and floppy, so I took it off.
Gotcha. So he has a Power Vision tuner. You can actually mount it right there. A lot of people do that. If I ran a Power Vision, that's exactly how I would do it myself. I like everything right there. So my bike.
All grampy.
So, 19-inch front wheeled stock Harley wheel. The legends in the front, amazing. Legends in the rear, amazing. I touched on it in the previous video. We never really set the sag for them, but it rode like a dream. I want to give a shout out to Biltwell for their bags. So I have the Exfil 80. We talked about it in the last video. Comes with straps. I think they call it the Air Wing. It's like a metal rack that bolts on top of your tour pack. I have that on mine. I was able to route the straps that it comes with kind of out and through, and that thing, we were running 80 down the highway and it didn't move, didn't budge. Held all my stuff. And the one thing I will say that's really nice is if you're on the fence, I know Rick Rack makes a really nice bag because I had looked into that. I was actually, when we originally started out with our Sturgis trip, and he didn't have a tour pack yet, he had a backrest. We were actually going to try to get that to mount because I was going to do the Rick Rack one. And the reason I'm throwing all this information at you guys is because it is so nice not that I've done a lot of traveling, but I've done a little bit. When you pack shit into saddlebags and you have to pull out sweatshirts, t-shirts, boxers, underwear, socks, boots, shoes, it's all stuffed in your saddlebag. It's a pain in the ass. When it's in a bag like that, yeah, it might take you 5 minutes to unclip. And I will touch on that in a minute. Everything's in the bag. I can pick it up, lock my saddlebags, lock my tour pack, walk into my hotel room, drop my bag, and I'm good. The only downside is I wouldn't necessarily leave that on the bike for an extended amount of time. If I'm going to use Laconia Bike Week where we just were. I wouldn't have left it stuffed full of clothes, chargers, anything, because anybody could come off and pull it off. The Rick Rack system that TJ and Steph use, and actually a lot of people use it, you can actually lock the mount to your bike and then put locks on your zippers. So if somebody's trying to break into your shit and steal your shit,
It's gonna be noticeable.
it's going to be noticeable, and somebody's probably going to say
Whereas
something.
your bag, somebody could walk up like it's their bike, start unclipping it, and throw it on the shoulder, walk away.
Right.
Nobody would think the wiser.
Right. So like he said, I have Zero Cup holders. I love them. They're awesome. The Zero phone mount worked perfect. I have now handguards on my bike, so I do want to touch on those. There's a lot of different companies that run them or make them. Memphis Shades is one. I went through a company I'd used previously called, I think it's JD Fabworks. They sell them through Big Cartel, I think is the website, is where you actually technically order it from. They did their job. Now, some people don't like them because they're metal, and God forbid, if you did hit something, it's probably going to take your fingers off. That being said, we did hit a little rain Friday night. My hands stayed dry, and I didn't wear gloves the whole time. I have nice normal tan now on my hands. Yeah. But they blocked everything. They did their job. What else did I do? There was something else I was going to say about the handguards. They blocked the wind, they blocked the rain, they blocked the bugs. They also blocked the wind, which is kind of nice. Now, to a complaint I have. So in April, we ordered a Vance & Hines Pro pipe. I don't know if I ever uploaded the video. I don't think I did.
No, you ended up deleting it because of the wind.
Yeah. We talked about this in the last video about doing a buyer beware video. We're still on the fence about doing that. Long story short of that whole thing is there's an exhaust sitting up on the shelf that I had bought, was told it was a Pro pipe. I thought it was. I didn't check well enough for the heads. Turns out it was a catted head pipe with a slip-on exhaust. Ended up sending that out, getting it decatted, put back together, threw it on the bike. Hated the sound. Really pissed off, really frustrated because I wasted like $400 for the pipe and then $250 to have it decatted and everything else. I just haven't really done anything with it because I'm frustrated with it. Still, it pisses me off every time I see it. So we ordered a black Vance & Hines Pro pipe. Now, in the last video, or one of the last videos, we talked about how we rode back from P-Town. We rode back in the rain for about 2 hours. Now, I have already spoken to Vance & Hines, gotten in contact, sent pictures, sent my receipt, and they are actually working with me to get me a new pipe. So this is what really pisses me off. The pipe, I went through Fuel Moto, and it was like an $800 pipe. And I don't blame Fuel Moto one bit at all. They were super awesome to deal with. I will definitely do
They
business.
don't make the pipe, it's a third party.
Right.
So
If that thing does go to get cams and a Power Vision tuner, I'm gonna go through them. So this is my gripe, this is my bitch. I ordered a black Pro pipe. It's on the bike still right now. I'm not gonna move the camera and try to go get footage of it. The pipe has already started to rust out. So today's date is June 22nd. I installed that pipe around April 13th of this year. I had one ride in the rain back. Yes, granted, we were in the rain for 2 hours.
But the bikes were nice and toasty, so.
Yeah, the bikes were, it wasn't like they were sitting in front of a bar room or something for 3 hours, cold. Overnight, whatever. We were running 70, 75 in the rain, down Route 6, coming home, and I 70, 75 at points when it lightened up. When it got heavy, we slowed down to probably 50, just because visibility had dropped down. But the bikes were running, they were hot. We both got a little damp. Didn't think anything of it, came back, and when we came back from Laconia, I really noticed it. Like I said, we did get a little sprinkle shower up there. It wasn't anything horrendous or horrible. The pipe had started to rust, and it started to bleed through to other parts of the black.
A lot of the black was chipping too.
Yep, there was a lot of chipping on the black. So after contacting Vance & Hines, I was very nice. I didn't seem to be too agitated. I said, listen, I ordered this pipe. It's been on my bike for 2 months. I rode in the rain once for 2 hours, trying to get home. Not trying to be Billy Badass or anybody like that. Like, I'm just trying to get home. If the rain conditions are too bad, I will pull over. But a slight rain, I'll ride through. Like the slight rain we had Friday coming back from dinner, it wasn't a downpour. It was a cool rain. It actually felt phenomenal. Here nor there, it's a brand new pipe. It shouldn't be rusting out. Vance & Hines knows of this problem, so they're submitting a claim on my behalf to their warranty department. And the gentleman I spoke with on the phone said that is a common issue because where it is a black pipe, it is a porous surface, and it's a known problem, is the way I want to word it. With it being a known problem, you decide what you want to do. Like I said, I'm not trying to claim to be Billy Badass or I ride year-round, tough Harley guy. If the situation presents itself and I have to ride in the rain to get to my destination or get home, and a perfect example of that would be is if you're traveling, which we're going to start doing, and it starts to rain and I'm 4.5 hours in, 300 miles from home, I'm not going to turn back. I'm not necessarily going to stop. If I have to stop because the weather conditions dictate so, I will. But if I can keep riding through it, I'm going to ride through it. So they did say that the chrome pipe does hold up quite a bit better because chrome is a hardened surface, it's less porous, it won't rust out. We're going to see what happens. So that definitely aggravated me. Another thing I want to touch base with is, and I don't know if I talked about this in the last video with custom dynamics. So I think I did. I think we uploaded that. So we did get a new part in from Custom Dynamics. That was super easy to deal with them. Talking amongst ourselves about running more of their products. Specifically, I'm looking at a headlight possibly. It's $800. I don't know if that's exactly going to happen. However, I do want to light the rear of the bike up a little more. Mainly the bag lid strips they do and the saddlebag hinges. They have LEDs that you can put in there. And maybe extra brake lights in the back. Not that the bike's not bright enough already, but after seeing it on a couple of bikes up at Bike Week, and having one specifically in front of me, it makes a hell of a difference. Even you had kind of said that, you know, you might dabble with adding a little bit more.
Well, me, I think I'm more gonna stick with the, like, I already have a tail light, like I think we covered in another video. I'm probably just gonna do the turn signals.
Yeah?
Front and rear, obviously, so probably gonna do the triple play with that.
See, you don't have the LED arms though. Would you consider doing either the bag strips or the filler inserts?
Probably.
Just because I will say this, having that other bike in front of me, when they hit their brakes, there was no denying that they were hitting their brakes.
Even during the daytime.
Yeah, even during the daytime in the bright ass sun. Another little gripe I have too, and I'm seeing it now in the corner of my eye, Rockford Fosgate. So I have their HD 98 to 13 head unit on my bike with a 400 watt amp and 4 speakers. Running 80 with a full face, and I'm gonna get to the full face because that's another bitch I have. I felt like I had to have it up around 30, but it could have been the music I was listening to. I don't know. But
Me, I was on 40 the entire time.
were you?
Well, obviously I don't have the 2 extra speakers.
Or the I can't hear the extra speakers. I can only hear the 2.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So one big gripe that I have is with the Pandora setting. After a while, the screen freezes up. It says all songs played back. If I go on, touch my phone, open up my phone, and click the skip button, it'll skip the song. So Alex made a good point. He said stop using the Pandora setting on it and use the Bluetooth setting, which I think I'm going to start trying to do and see if it has that issue anyway.
Well, like I said, I had the same issue when I was using Pandora on that, because I have the same head unit as him. So I just started using the Bluetooth.
Now, can you see the album info and all that fun shit? Does it show you like the album name and where's it? Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna start using the Bluetooth then. So that's kind of a gripe, not really, kind of, sorta. So yeah, like I said, couple bitch video. I don't even know how this video started, to be honest with you.
My cup holder.
Yeah, the cup holder is what we changed. So like I said, I am definitely going to be looking at custom dynamics a little more to finish out the back end of the bike and maybe the sides. Just because, especially like I said, in the bright daylight,
It's unmistakable.
You're
at night, it's even friggin' worse.
Yeah.
we were both kind of like, Jesus Christ.
A little bit, yeah. So other than that, the Clockwork windshield did great. That was what I was going to bitch about. So I have run a Bell helmet for approximately the last 8 years. My first Bell helmet was the Bell Vortex. It was a full face helmet, DOT, Snell rated. I loved that helmet. I literally just retired it the start of this year. I went out and bought the Bell SRT modular. After riding last season, I personally like riding with a full face at all times. Even though we were in New Hampshire, I think I only rode once without a helmet.
It's because I did.
No, I kind of wanted to breeze in my face.
Well, it was only like 15 minutes to the hotel.
Yes. Now, I'm kind of a freak. I'm going to just admit it. I don't always ride with my face shield down. However, I always ride with either sunglasses or clears on. I like the protection that a full face offers me, and I like the wind in my face. So here is my complaint, and Belle, I really hope you hear this to figure something out. The way, you know what? Hold on. I don't know what you just said on the video. This is Amanda's helmet. It's a Bell SRT modular. All modular helmets crack the front open like this. Personally, for me, that's a huge deal. Whether it's getting a drink or now that it's not COVID time necessarily. If I have to walk into the store and talk to a gas station, like, oh, hey, I need, your card thing's not working, can I put 20 on pump 4? I can have a conversation with you and not look like an asshole. The other big thing that I like about the modular is if it's hot out, you literally can lift it up, you're getting breeze in your face. When we were in the traffic jam, yeah, see, her top vent was open, son of a bitch. For most of the trip, my top vent was closed and I didn't realize, I couldn't figure out why I was sweating, and then I touched it, yeah. I had this open so I could have a conversation with him because he had a beanie on. It makes life a lot easier. The face shield is my complaint. I don't know if it's just my helmet, I feel like. Oh. That might be why.
You're over clicking it?
Yeah.
With catching the wind?
So if you over click this, it's straight up. The wind, I'm 5'7", like I've stated. I have the shortest clockwork windshield they make. This grabs my helmet on the highway, snaps my neck back. And it is effing painful. However, noticing this detent setup and how it all works, I'm gonna try doing this again to see if I can make it work. That being said, it has done this to me in the past where I have literally, we stopped at the gas station in Holyoke, Chicopee, whatever. I took it off and I threw it in the case, in the bag that the helmet comes with, and I didn't ride with it for the rest of the trip. When I like to have it down is when it's raining. That's about it. So yeah, Belle, if you're hearing this, maybe make it so the only reason I can think that they do it is for when you go full up modular. Like flip the...
I don't know, I think that goes back a little bit further still.
No. So that's why.
So that's probably the lock for it.
Yeah. Other than that, these helmets did great. They definitely felt cool breeze. You need a helmet.
Yeah, I broke my helmet on the way back. What were we, 15 minutes from Ben & Jerry's? I dropped my helmet and broke it.
Yeah, you did. So, like I said, that was just a couple bitches. Now that I'm looking at the design, that might be my bad.
I mean, it can also still be better, like make it a little bit taller.
Yeah, figure something out. The other thing I want to touch base with is we both have the Amazon headlight. First of all, I love you, but you're a dick. Riding at night, you gotta stay up like this. When you're right here, we're on the highway, I can't see shit.
You want the same headlight.
Yeah, I know. When I'm trying to go to the other lane, and I just have headlights in my eyes, I'm like, is that a car or is that Alex? I want to strangle you. But like I said, I'm on the fence. $800 is a lot for a headlight. So I don't know if their headlight is going to happen. However, I am looking at the strips for the bags, the saddlebag latch lights, the body filler lights. I think that's it. Oh, and they have one for the tour pack too. Because I feel like if it's up a little higher, might.
Oh yeah, like a third brake light.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, that might have just been their tour pack.
no, I can get it to this one. I already checked. So small bitches about our trip, about some of the products we're running. Like I said, we're not sponsored by anybody. If any of these sponsors, Legends, Mustang, Zero, Custom Dynamics, I'm running Chromeworks bars. The bars are super comfortable. The Handguard company, like I said, I think that's JD Fabworks. Vance and Hines, you want to hit me up? Let me know. I already talked to you guys. Legends, I think I already said Legends. Yeah, so kind of just where we're at. So like I said, just to kind of recap, I did talk to Vance and Hines. They're supposedly going to get me a new pipe. And I told them I'd like a chrome one. If they can't do that for me, then I'm actually going to probably try to talk to Fuel Moto, because they were super nice when I talked to them. See if they can send me a chrome one and I can send the brand new black one back and not be out of a bike for like 4 days. But hey, let's see what happens. So until the next time, keep the rubber down, shiny up, and don't do anything we would do. It's short list. Peace. Hey everybody, so this is a post-video update. As you can see, I'm enjoying my coffee this morning. Vance and Hines emailed us back and got back to us. So they actually emailed us at about 6:30 last night. It's about 6:50 in the morning now. Hence why I didn't see the email, and I was doing editing and uploading of the Laconia or Vermont/Laconia Bike Week 2021 video. So here's where the update stands. I want to give them a huge shout out for standing behind their product and doing what they do. So unfortunately, we won't be running a black Pro pipe anymore. The reason for that is the black finish doesn't hold up well in the rain. Didn't really know that going into it. After talking to them, they informed me. So the timeline of that kind of goes, rode a few weeks ago in the rain, got up to Laconia, wasn't too bad. Really noticed it when I got home that there was just a lot of rust on the pipe and wasn't super thrilled. Alex had said something to me, I kind of brushed it off, to be honest. And when we got back, I noticed, I was like, holy shit, that's bad. So Monday, I called them, spoke with them on the phone. They emailed me with a list of what they needed. They needed my order number, and my order number with my shipping address, which is important, and kind of pretty much showing the date I ordered it, and a few pictures of the pipe. So I had Alex, once he got home, snap a few pictures, send them to me. I screenshotted my order receipt from Fuel Moto, and fired it back. On closer inspection, I realized the receipt from Fuel Moto didn't have my shipping address. So I emailed them again and said, hey, sorry about that. This is my shipping address. If you guys can't send me a Chrome Pro pipe, because when I had spoken to them on the phone, I had asked, well, if the black doesn't hold up, does the Chrome? He said, yeah, the Chrome holds up a lot better. I said, I would like to try to get a Chrome one. He said, not a problem. So we're going to run a Chrome Pro pipe now. Fingers crossed. We've always run a Chrome exhaust. Black, that was our first black one. Hey, it is what it is. But with the pipe, we're going to see what happens. He said, I can't guarantee it, but I don't see why there should be an issue. They emailed me back last night, 100% covered under warranty and claims. So now we're waiting for the pipe to come in. They gave me an order number. I don't know if that's for their website or what, but I'm just going to be patient. It's super hard for me, but I'm going to wait for the pipe to come in. The follow-up to that is I also have to go to Harley and get 2 new exhaust gaskets and 4 new flange nuts. I just want to put brand new stuff on there. Which leads us to the last part. I do want to give Vance & Hines a shout out. They are sticking behind their product 110%. Granted, yeah, the pipe's only 6 weeks old, 2 months old, whatever it may be. I do think, personally, that maybe they should do a little bit better job explaining on the website, or whoever does something with it, maybe come up with a different black finish, something where it doesn't rust out as much. But we are super pumped to be running it. We're going to see how this pipe holds up. So, kind of wrapping it up, we're going to see how everything works out. We're pretty stoked that we got a brand new pipe coming in. Also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. The more subscribers we get, the better this is going to be. Hit the like button. I don't know how all these algorithm things work on YouTube, but it definitely helps out. And if you have any questions or comments about this, drop it down below. On anything in the first video, and this is the second part of the video, I will feel free to ask away and I'll answer it to the best of my knowledge. Also, we are really excited to have an interview coming up Sunday. Don't know if we mentioned that in another video or this video, but I've actually never met the guy. Talked to him a bunch of times on text and on Instagram, I think. Maybe Facebook too. Not sure. So super pumped about that, and we're hoping to get back to more interviews very soon. So until the next time, keep the rubber down, the shiny up, and we'll talk to you soon.